this sounds wrong. Maybe we're just better guys than most people. I was going to say there's not much that a girl can do that will get people to judge the way they look, but that's not true.
Brunch.
Hit it, boys! MoviePass update. I'm about to be kicked off of MoviePass.
Oh, bad boys of podcasting.
Yeah.
What'd you do?
I wore a leather jacket to the movies. I did not take... So one of the new rules is after you buy your ticket, you have to take a picture of it and then go see the movie. And it says at the time, when you get your ticket, it's like, take a picture. If you don't take a picture of it, you're not going to be able to... you got to do it before you get your next movie ticket. And I just forgot to do it. It dawned on me today, and I'm pretty sure I threw away that ticket. And I looked up what happens if you don't. I just figured it was like... I don't know. What's a good example of that? It's like when you leave a parking lot, and you're like, well, I lost the ticket. Eventually, they just had to fucking let you go.
Yeah.
Although recently, I ended up spending so much money that way, and it sucked. But I thought it would be something like that. But MoviePass,
I just assume that everything is like, if I don't do it, whatever.
Right.
It's not the end of the world.
Then we all move on.
Yeah.
Then it's like the Louis C.K. rest in peace when dropping off or bringing back the rental car.
Yeah.
They're like, you have to bring it back to this place during these hours and this, and this. And he just drove it to the airport and left and got on his plane. And he was like, the car's across the street from your thing. And they were like, no, you had to bring it to us. And he was like, well, that's where the car is. So unless you don't want the car anymore, you have to go there.
Well, that's what happened with my health insurance. I was like, I'll pay it. And no, they just canceled it immediately.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so that's why I didn't have health insurance for like 5 months.
But what? How? You stopped paying it?
I missed the first payment. I was like, well, yeah, I missed the first payment. Shit, whatever. I'll make it up the next round.
It's our wildest summer
and
yet.
By the next round, I didn't have health insurance.
I've been getting not to take too deep a look into Brave Dave's life, but my hospital bills are piling up.
Yeah, I would imagine so. You've been going for some like heavy duty visits, like throat scans.
Yeah, a lot of shit with the throat, and I've had two different throat test things where I've been like, the bill won't be that crazy, and the bill comes. It's
always
crazy. I guess I'm just not used to ever getting a crazy hospital bill. I know that
if you go to the hospital, chances are there's going to be a crazy hospital bill.
Because I had insurance in my head, because I'm used to paying bill-wise, I'm just used to like fucking copays, where you go to either see a
flat rate.
Yeah, like I'm gonna come in,
flat rate
give you
visit.
$35, and that's gonna be it.
But
I'm a huge copay guy.
But like, if you do anything beyond just showing up, you're paying out of the ass.
I didn't realize that until roughly a year ago. That's not true.
It's like going to buy a car at the going to the hospital.
Yeah.
Because you go there and they try to fucking sell you all the bells and whistles.
Yeah.
They're like, you might not need power leather steering, but you want it just in case.
It's your health, you shouldn't
you only buy a car once every however many years. It's like, yeah, well, you just get the test.
You only
just
get one
test.
body.
Yeah.
So I mean, a couple of years ago I went to the emergency room. So I got a huge bill for that, but that made sense. I was like, oh, this is going to be
it's the emergency room. You don't want everybody just showing up.
Right, exactly. There needs to be some sort of deterrent.
Consequence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There needs to be something that's going to scare people away from going to the emergency room. But yeah, I don't know, a year ago, I got a crazy bill for some tests I gotten done. And this past one I got was even crazier. And it was the worst because I got the bill on my birthday.
Ooh,
yeah.
Not great.
So that was...
Happy birthday.
That was the worst birthday present. And especially... on, like some relatives might send you a check or something.
Yeah, it just all goes to the fucking. You didn't get anything.
Well, I did, but checks range between $35 and $50 from relatives typically.
Yeah,
and
less for you because they don't like you very much.
So right, yeah. So you get a couple of those. And normally it's like, ooh, got a little bit of spending money.
Yeah,
nice.
And it just immediately goes to your fucking medical bills.
And this is like the biggest financial thing that happened to me on my birthday was that I was out a lot of money.
So what happened with MoviePass?
MoviePass, I just forgot to take the picture. So
okay.
I looked it up, what happens, and it says if you do not submit a picture of your movie stub more than once, your MoviePass account is canceled.
Wow.
So I'm already...
Is that strike one?
So yeah, I'm already on my last strike.
Yeah, 2 strikes is a weird place to go.
It whips you into shape though.
Yeah, I mean it's puts you immediately in like the red zone.
Yeah.
There's that. I guess that's the warning shot, but like it's a warning shot that whizzes right by your skull.
At my college, they had the English department was the only department that had this policy. If you missed 3 classes, you started to lose full letter grades. Wow. So if you missed a class, it was a real big deal. Yeah. So of course, like the first week of college, I overslept or something. And then basically I knocked out I forget if it was on the 3rd or the 4th one that started, but whatever was the maximum you could do without starting to
got those
get
out
affected,
of the way real quick.
I had to be the quickest person to register those, and it was the worst. But I never missed another class the rest of the way.
So does it come up with anything on MoviePass to say like, okay, there's strike 1?
I don't know. I tried to open the app today, and it was acting normal, but I don't know. I think maybe next time I actually check in, it will be like, hey, we know about that shit you pulled.
By the way, I've never gotten that prompt to take a picture of my ticket stub yet.
Really?
Yeah. And I've been using it the past few weeks. Maybe it's because I am the year-long subscriber, and they're extra nice to me.
Oh, maybe. Well, you know what I'm going to do? I just realized.
What?
I'm just going to lie. I'm going to be like, I was trying to submit the picture, but your stupid app wouldn't take the picture. And they'll be like, we're MoviePass, and we're shady as fuck. That sounds believable.
Or worst case scenario, if you wanted to avoid the strike, you could just buy a ticket to the movie, unless they have the information of like when you saw it, which they probably would if it was used.
If MoviePass has people that they've hired that sit around there and cross-reference the tickets, then that's their billionth bad decision that they've made financially.
It could be why they're so in the red, is that they're paying all these people just to.
What if working for MoviePass rules? Like they pay their employees a shitload. They're so bad with money that I would actually believe that. It makes
sense.
Right.
I mean, you look at Amazon and they're paying their people dirt, and that's like a fucking $900 billion company.
They make huge profits. Yeah.
So, who's the real good businessman here?
Speaking of health stuff, today I tweeted, life hackers, I've been coughing up blood for 2 straight days looking for tips. And I actually got some unbelievable responses. So I just wanted to rifle through a few of these. Let me see. Well, there was the classic, have you tried the oil of a snake? Quite good.
I did see that.
Let me see. Swallow Band-Aids. Great one. Deer antler spray. Do you get that reference?
Ray Lewis.
Who did that? Was it Ray Lewis?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know who else has done deer antler spray?
Clay Buchholz?
Me.
Really?
Yeah.
What's that? Why?
It's supposed to just like help with lifting and stuff.
Okay.
It's supposedly like a natural supplement, which I do not believe because it was sold on a very sketchy website. But that's like the closest thing that I've ever done to like a sketchy supplement.
How does it help with lifting?
It's supposedly like for like muscle regeneration, which is why athletes use it. Like I think Ray Lewis used it after an injury. And it's supposed to help like your muscle growth or health or something like that.
So you can lift on back-to-back days, something like that?
Yes,
nice.
Because I am an athlete. The way you take it is very strange. You spray it under your tongue and you hold it there for like 30 seconds and then you swallow it.
Really?
Yeah.
So I'm trying to think.
And it tasted pretty good.
Is there a drug that's done like that? Maybe. A lot of tablets. Do you just put it on your tongue?
And wait for it to dissolve.
Yeah.
But like this didn't dissolve. It's an actual like spray liquid.
Gross.
Yeah.
Someone said Patrice Bergeron played with a punctured lung and torn cartilage. Let me see. A lot of snake oil responses actually.
I've been noticing that there's an uptick in very
Snake oil
specific
talk?
very specific podcast references.
Yeah.
Which I
think
love it.
I think that people figure that's how to get on our good side. That's how to
Not
that's how to
wrong.
Get that fave. Yeah.
Not wrong at all.
Yeah. I had flagged a bunch of them, but those were the best ones. Good times. Another thing that happened on Twitter this week was, so I chatted with my pal Kyrie Irving.
Yeah.
Which was a bit of a tough pill to swallow because Kyrie was always a big brunch target.
Yeah.
Probably, I would always say when people are like, if you could have anybody on brunch, who would it be? I would always say Kyrie Irving.
Really?
Yeah, because my ultimate plan for brunch was that it would be celebrities known for one thing, talking about other shit that interests them.
Yeah.
Like talking the way that we talk to each other. And the Cavaliers were always quite uncooperative with us trying to get Kyrie on.
To talk about Friends, by the way.
Yes, to talk about Friends.
He has a Friends tattoo.
He has a Friends tattoo, and I interviewed him at the Uncle Drew press junket the other day, and his friend who also has the Friends tattoo was there because he has that tattoo with one of his friends.
Is it? Did you didn't ask about it because I know you didn't. But like, is it because of the show Friends, or is it just like a hey, we're friends, let's get matching friends?
They
tattoo?
say it's because of the show Friends.
Okay.
Kyrie has said that when he was younger, he didn't totally appreciate Friends, and then he started watching it when he was in college, and he became obsessed with the show. He really likes the character Joey, which is
interesting.
big old surprise.
I mean, like,
Kyrie fancies himself a pretty smart guy.
Right.
Joey's an idiot who doesn't pay rent.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't hold that against someone necessarily, but like when somebody says that their favorite character is Joey, I'm probably gonna be like, probably gonna be surprised, especially when it's Kyrie Irving, who fancies himself like a philosopher.
Yeah,
and like a deep thinker.
Yeah, liking Joey is a rather simple thing.
But would you argue that liking Chandler is like more basic than liking Joey? Because
Chandler or Joey being your favorite Friends character is very basic.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm a Ross apologist, but I would respect if he said any of the girls or Ross more than if he said Chandler or Joey. Chandler upsets me the most when people say, because I've said this before,
he's every white guy.
He's every fucking white guy ever. I know so many Chandlers and I like them. But
I know, like they are like they are. Chandler is funny,
yeah,
and like he is
totally.
very witty,
yeah.
But like he's not completely out of the ordinary.
Right, exactly. Like if I
like
watch
Chandler
TV to
could
get
be
away
a
from
New
my
Girl.
friends, yeah, I watch TV to get away from my friends, like. And if I just go out and hang out with my friends, I'll probably have some Chandler experiences, which are fine. But there's not a major break from reality when you watch Chandler. So Chandler's good, but not amazing. Anyway, talk to Kyrie. Fun, nice little time with Kyrie. And ETD posted a picture of me and Kyrie and said, when I'm staring at the girl I like who doesn't know who I am, and it was like zoomed in on my face. Bit of a stretch, not amazing, but
it was like a
little forced.
Yeah, a little bit.
But I still appreciated it.
I love it. If it came from anybody else, you probably would have rolled your eyes. But ETD,
yes.
You know the intentions,
yes.
and like he's usually funny. You got to give him a pass every once in a while.
Right. So rest in peace, ETD being funny. But I responded, maybe don't stare at girls next time. Toxic masculinity much. And this week has been a huge week with toxic masculinity because there was the baseball player who struck out his buddy to win the big game. Yep. And then he ran over and hugged his friend and said, "Hey, buddy, I love you." And then waited for his friend to walk off and then went and joined his teammates. And a lot of people were pissed about it. I really didn't feel one way or the
Me
other
neither.
towards it. But my favorite reaction, and this is a fair reaction, is to shame the people who are like, what kind of guy wins a game and then cares about how another guy feels? That's a stupid way to think. So my favorite response was that people were like, yo, toxic masculinity at its finest, because that is a pretty good example of stupid, really kind of bro line of thinking. So this hasn't totally gotten off the ground yet, but I would like for us to have a thing that we do every week, and hopefully you guys will send submissions. I want to do a thing called This Week in Toxic Masculinity, where we look at things that might not even necessarily be toxic masculinity, and then we shit on them for being toxically masculine.
Okay.
Yeah.
So my list that I came up with is all things that I do not believe are toxic masculinity.
Well, let's not ruin the joke right away. Well, we're going to prove they are toxic masculine.
Okay.
Could you give me an example?
Number one, growing a mustache, because you this
grow a
hits
mustache.
pretty close to home for you. You have a mustache on your face. If a woman were to grow a mustache, she would be chastised and criticized for it.
I actually
so way to flaunt that in women's faces.
I had that conversation with some coworkers the other day. They said, "Why are you growing a mustache?" And it was not asked in a complimentary way.
Ooh.
And I explained, sometimes I like doing a mustache. I explained the hot tub effect, which I feel, I don't understand how there's any person I've met who I've not explained the hot tub effect to 3,000 times.
So that's happened to me now, like as a result of hanging around you too much. Is that
always explaining
I've just dropped the hot tub effect, and I just assume that everybody knows what it means.
Yes,
and they don't.
That's same with steer into the skid, because you say it enough that I hear it back.
Yeah.
So I'm like, everybody knows what steering into the skid is. So when I say it, then people say, what do you mean? But they usually don't anymore, because when I say something, people don't know what it means. They're like, whatever. He'll be done talking
But
soon.
The hot tub effect is like a very easy explanation. And like once you do explain it, a lot of people agree and are on board with it.
And they say, girls oftentimes, though, are like, okay, so what can I do for the hot tub effect? And I'm convinced, and this might be toxically masculine on my point, there's no hot tub effecting that girls can do, because their biggest example is, maybe I won't wear makeup for a little bit, and then I'll put makeup on, and I'm like, you're pretty. If you don't wear makeup and people are like, wow, she's pretty, and she's not even wearing makeup, then that's an even bigger feather in her cap.
That's sort of what I would say with like wear shitty clothing. But like if a girl is attractive and wears shitty clothing, you're like, wow, that girl's attractive and she's wearing shitty clothing.
That's right. Yeah, there's not much that this sounds wrong. Maybe we're just better guys than most people. I was going to say there's not much that a girl can do that will get people to judge the way they look, but that's not true. That's most girls' existence in the world. I think the world's maybe
could not
changing.
be more off base.
Right. Not for us. I guess, so toxic masculinity, everyone who's not us.
We're sterile masculinity.
Yes. Yeah. We don't fit in with the masculine. Here's one. The headline is, he came from Michigan to thank this Toronto burger joint for making his elderly dad's day. Maybe come from Michigan to thank this Toronto burger joint for making your elderly mom's day.
Nice.
What's this guy's problem?
Not bad.
Didn't click the story.
Okay.
Don't know what happened.
Okay. Well, that seems to be on target.
A&W Canada is going to eliminate plastic straws from all restaurants. Wouldn't hate it if they eliminated sexism from restaurants, but what are you gonna do when you got a bunch of old guys in charge? They're gonna save the environment because they hate women, I guess. CVS will now offer 4 weeks paternity leave to fathers. Here's an idea: offer paternity leave to mothers.
How long? 4 weeks?
Yeah,
That's not bad.
yeah.
I don't hate that.
It's
But
kind of toxically masculine, though.
true. Because I would assume if you compare it to the paternity leave for the mothers, way higher for guys.
Paternity leave for mothers averages like 0 days.
Yeah, that's pretty problematic, I think.
0 time for mothers. Kind of messed up.
Be paternal.
What do you have any actual thoughts on paternity leave?
Yeah, I hate
that
when
was a
it
big
gets
story
involved in sports conversations.
Yeah, because I was gonna say that's a big story in sports from time to time.
I think that like is a form of like I'm dead serious.
Yeah, yes,
like toxic masculinity.
Oh God, totally. Yeah,
like when
judging.
fucking Felger is like, oh, you shouldn't miss a regular season game.
Yes, I
to
would
be
argue
a
that
fucking
is-
to be a father.
Yes, I would argue that. Well, also just
There's also toxic masculinity with isn't there like postpartum depression for
yes,
fathers?
Yes.
Like, and that's something that is sort of like not generally discussed and talked
Right.
about as much as it should be. Because I know Tony Reale
Yes.
from ESPN did like a whole thing on that.
Oh yeah. Well, at the root of that is, I did this, so you should do this. You know.
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of toxic masculinity
There's a lot of it
comes
formed
from
in that way.
Yeah.
Or like our forefathers did this, so you should do this.
Well, that's toxic stupidity. That's
I mean,
God. Yeah,
there
no.
is so much shit that is like, well, this is the way things have always been.
Yeah.
And it's like, ah.
Did you see the thing? I actually read it. It was actually pretty interesting. Someone from the Washington Post wrote a thing, and I feel bad. I retweeted a joke about it before I actually read it. But somebody from the Washington Post wrote a thing saying, like, I'm gay, but I don't love the whole Pride Month thing. And everyone was like, what a self-loathing like person. Why wouldn't you? Blah.
Thing.
And I read it, and the person actually raised an interesting point. I don't know that I necessarily agree with it, but it was a lot of the Pride things incorporate strictly left-wing stuff to the point of almost alt-left. Like it's
like what?
that it referenced some websites or the people that run Pride or whatever, and they all happen to be very anti-gun and push like anti-gun stuff
really?
or whatever.
Like
which,
all the parades and
which
stuff?
like yeah,
I get it because like
which
it's
as an anti-gun person, I'm like, yeah, cool, good, but I could see why a gay person who, and this person was like, yo, I'm anti-gun, I'm anti-Trump, I'm all these things.
But that all shouldn't be like packaged together. You should be able to be like pro gay rights,
right,
and also pro gun if that's something that you believe in.
Yeah, so I actually quite agreed with that. Like, but it was quite easy to make jokes about that.
Yeah.
That headline instead.
Yeah, and
That's
I think,
the
but I actually do think that like is becoming an issue where like if you. Is like say you don't believe in like or say you are pro gun,
yeah,
and a lot of people based on that will throw you into like all these other categories like that they just judge you on no matter what. Like if you say I'm pro gun, then people will be like, oh, I bet you're anti gay rights and stuff too. And like all those sort of conservative values.
That person probably raises a good point that conservatives probably aren't going to celebrate Pride the way that liberals do because, again, because I'm on the side of liberals, it sounds like I'm contradicting myself, but I could see why a conservative person who's very pro-gay looks at that and is like, I'm hesitant to go to this thing to celebrate LGBTQ when they don't have other people like me over there, you know?
Yeah, that's fair. Speaking of pro-gay, I just finished the first season of Queer Eye, and it's unbelievable.
The first ever season?
No, so Queer Eye for the Straight Guy is the
they're different shows?
Yeah.
Okay.
Different shows with different casts. And I finished the Queer Eye on Netflix, and it is fantastic.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's awesome.
Everyone likes it. I have no idea why I haven't watched that yet.
You really should. It is very great. And it's super emotional. I like all the dudes that are in the new Fab Five. Mm-hmm. They're all awesome. A bunch of them are super fucking handsome, and it's wild because I didn't think that I don't remember too well the previous group, but I remember that the ones that I do remember weren't that attractive.
What happened to that one guy from the
blonde one?
Yeah,
because that's the one that everybody thinks about.
Yeah, that guy took over the world for a second.
Yeah,
what was his name? Is his name Carson?
I don't know. He clearly didn't take over the world.
I'm gonna look up
too heavily, but these new guys are great.
queer eye for the straight guy.
And they do it in Atlanta. And a lot of the people that they visit are people who aren't traditionally or they're like sort of closed values.
Okay.
And so they a big part of it and a big part of the process is sort of like opening them up to like gay values or like gay culture.
Interesting.
Which is kind of cool.
Carson Kressley was the guy's name.
I'm impressed that you were able to remember that guy's first name.
I don't forget a good member of the original Fab Five.
Oh yeah, those guys. Yeah, no. The new group is way more attractive.
Well, they're also will consider that those guys were wearing 2003's fashion.
Yeah,
and
still
carrying themselves in 2003 versus now. Stephen A. Smith is on the news. Did you see what happened with him?
Yeah, he's an ass guy.
He said he's an ass guy, and he has apologized.
He apologized
for that? He takes
that?
it back. Yeah.
Did he really?
He said, I like titties just as much.
That is not true.
No, he did. He didn't take it back, but he apologized.
That's very wrong of him because he avoided toxic masculinity by picking the body part in which both males and females share.
But isn't that toxically masculine to be like, I need something that's also on a guy?
No.
Could be.
I don't think anybody knows. I think we don't really have a fantastic understanding of what toxic masculinity is.
So I'm being nice. I think that I do. I think that you're kind of
no
in the
idea.
dark.
Yeah.
The concept of toxic masculinity is used in psychology and gender studies to refer to certain norms of masculine behavior in North America and Europe that are associated with harm to society and to men themselves. So yeah, it's basically like the men behave
like
this
men.
way. Right, yeah. So that's that. It's been a very good episode on toxic masculinity.
You know what I don't like about toxic masculinity?
That it's masculinity?
When guys open beer bottles with their teeth.
Do guys do that?
Yes.
Gross.
It's the worst thing in the world.
What's the risk reward there?
The risk is far outweighs the reward.
You've got to know that there's... I mean, I've for sure ruined surfaces opening beer bottles before.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't make that surface part of my face.
Yeah.
Really
I already ruined my teeth last week with a lollipop when I passed out. And speaking of which, Uber now is apparently cutting off drunk people?
They're developing some sort of artificial intelligence that will be able to estimate whether or not someone is drunk. I would say that they already have that artificial intelligence. If the person calls an Uber, there's a good chance that they're drunk.
Yeah.
That's simply it.
Yeah. Like no constraints at all. Like
Uber means I'm about to drink or have had something to drink. If it's their second Uber of the day, they're probably drunk.
Yes, or if it's like after midnight, good chance they're drunk. Like why would Uber even want to do that? Like cut
They're
off
scaring
that
people
part.
away from using them.
Right, and that's like a significant part of a business model when you're a car service that gets people from point A to point B for money.
Yes. The best response I saw, it was literally the first response I saw on Twitter. Someone responded, which is the main, their name was Quesmain, and it was, which is the main reason why I'm requesting an Uber. I'm drunk, so if I get behind the wheel because my Uber got canceled and I catch a vehicular homicide, that's Uber's body, not mine.
Jesus
I like
Christ.
the idea of Uber catching a body.
Yes. Just put it on Uber's tab.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I wanted to discuss...
but also, how does that technology work?
It says, I think that it's like it hacks into your how you've been texting recently or something like that.
What?
I don't know.
That
I don't
is
even
extremely invasive.
They're not gonna fucking cancel on me.
MoviePass will.
Yeah, that's happening. I wanted to have the burger debate. I don't think we've ever really had it, but Feidelberg posted this week that he went to In-N-Out Burger and he said Shake Shack is better. And I've never been to In-N-Out Burger, but my reaction to that is Shake Shack is good, not great.
Shake Shack is pretty bland to me.
Yeah, Shake Shack is just okay.
Yeah.
Do people
like,
hold it in super high esteem?
Apparently, Feidelberg does. But I mean, like, I've never heard somebody argue that Shake Shack should be in like the elite class of fast food.
So
burger.
it was just like a bad Feidelberg take?
I think so.
Okay. I thought that was it was like a more open discussion.
I'm sure that there are people that like do stand for Shake Shack, but to me, it's not even in like discussion.
Here's the have you ever pigged out at Shake Shack?
No, you just get what you want,
right? Like you get a burger, you get fries, and
like, you're never.
They don't
tempted
give you a ton, and
you're never tempted to like run the fucking gamut, or
right?
whatever it is.
Which at Tasty Burger I will do all day, and Shake Shack's expensive.
Yeah, for what it is.
Yeah,
absolutely. Like there are not a lot of like burger joints that straight up impress me, because you always like, even In-N-Out and Five Guys, I think they're all sort of overrated because they're held in such high regard as like fast food burger chains. But at the end of the day, it's still a fucking burger. So unless you're like, burgers are usually always pretty good, and if you make a really good one, then like you're kind of hitting. There's sort of like a low ceiling there.
Yeah, the fast casual burger places for me, because like In-N-Out is supposedly that's like a McDonald's Burger King type, right?
No, In-N-Out is like it's
more like Five
Guys, yeah.
In terms of its feel and everything.
Yeah, I would say so. It's way more Five Guys than it is like McDonald's.
Or Burger. Okay,
that's like low class fast food burger chain.
Okay,
I would say.
Okay, but it is like fast food.
It is. Yeah, it's absolutely fast food, and it's absolutely like very minimalistic in terms of what they offer. But so is Five Guys.
Yeah, well, Five Guys. I mean, Five Guys doesn't have a drive-through. Does In-N-Out have a drive-through? Five Guys is
In-N-Out has
Five Guys strikes me as more fast casual, because you have to wait 5 to 10 minutes for your food.
Yeah, so I would say that In-N-Out is probably in that category then too.
Oh, okay. So all those places kind of do different things for me. Like most of the times that I have Tasty Burger, unfortunately, is at the end of the night, which is great. But Tasty Burger sober is terrific.
Okay.
But mainly that's kind of my drunk thing. Five Guys, I almost
that's a you thing.
I almost always get
sober,
hungover.
Oh, really? Five Guys?
Five Guys is a great hungover situation.
Yeah,
because it's greasy as
right. And that's exactly what you want. Maybe it's just like a convenience thing, but I haven't done Five Guys a ton hungover. That's like
Five Guys is slow. That's what pisses me off.
Well, that's why it's like it's an event trip for me.
Yeah,
I won't just stop at a Five Guys like on the way to something or whatever.
Yeah.
It's always a conscious decision for me to be like, all right, I want Five Guys. I want like a really disgusting heavy burger that is gonna ruin the rest of my day.
I was gonna say Five Guys is also a day ender.
Yeah, it is. It is a wasted day after you eat a Five Guys burger.
So for me, it's a Sunday when I'm really hungover and I know that I'm gonna feel like death all day no matter what. So I might as well inject some Five Guys.
And here's where I would give the top spot to In-N-Out, is because their ingredients I think are a lot better and fresher than Five Guys.
Okay.
So you don't have that feeling after eating In-N-Out where you're like, I can't do anything for the rest of the day. You can eat pretty soon after In-N-Out.
So that does. I got to get over there because honestly, McDonald's or Burger King has the same effect. McDonald's and Burger King for me, it feels like I just didn't eat at all. It never makes me feel bad. It doesn't make me feel good.
I will say, like, after I eat McDonald's or Burger King, usually one of the two, probably more Burger King. Of that grouping, like I feel shitty afterwards. Not shitty.
I would agree. Burger King is
not shitty like a Five Guys shitty, because the Five Guys shitty is just like a really sluggish. I feel disgusting.
Like
I just ate 3,000 calories.
Right.
I feel shitty after I eat like Burger King and McDonald's because like I just ate
fake food.
Yes, exactly. And that's sort of where the difference lies there. I think that you get the best feeling after eating In-N-Out, and it is a really, really good burger.
Have you ever done? This takes us away from the burger thing, I guess. Have you ever done Blaze
pizza?
Yeah.
No.
It's good, but I have a huge issue with it. Their thing, it says fast fired pizza, and they spell fired FIRE''D.
Yeah, I think you've brought this up to me before.
Probably because it infuriates me. I almost want to get rid of commas or apostrophes because
nobody's using them correctly anymore. Even Drake's new song, "I'm Upset." There's no apostrophe.
Oh, really?
Yeah, between the I and M.
Well, he does. Let me think. What's this joke I'm gonna make? So just another thing he's neglecting.
Which stings a little bit more because that song is about how he does not have a secret child.
Really?
Yeah. And it's about like it's basically
Has Pusha T come out with a song called "Yes You Do"?
No. But I do think it's funny that the song is called "I'm Upset" because, well, it's Drake. We know.
Is it? Wait, so it's not about how it's not denying that he has a secret child?
No, it is.
Really?
Yeah. It's
Man.
And it's basically like accusing the lady of lying, that she's just trying to get his money.
Did you believe when they said that he could have had a response that would have ruined Kanye and Pusha T's lives?
No.
Yeah, me neither. I don't think that anybody.
I mean,
believes
Kanye
that.
came out and said that slavery is a choice
Right.
on his own accord.
Yes.
In very publicly on camera. And
That
that
had
did not
the number
ruin,
one album.
That did not
Yeah.
ruin Kanye's life. So I don't possibly know what Drake could have said that would have been a worse look for Kanye.
Kanye's life actually might be unruinable. I think that he actually
Right.
proved that. That is one of the worst things someone could say, to be just that blasé about like they chose to do that.
Especially
Then
like,
everyone's
because
okay with
Kanye
it.
had like such a black heavy fan base, obviously.
Yeah.
And that is such a slap in the face to all those people, and he's still doing pretty well.
Man, what a crazy wild kid that Kanye is. What else do we have? Do we have anything else? I say I was coughing up blood.
Yes? How's that going?
Still going